morning, everybody. How is everyone? It's great to see everybody. Welcome to the 31st annual Martin Luther King Oratory Competition. Thank you. Co-sponsored by the law firm of Foley and Lardner and the Dallas Independent School District. My name is Michael Newman, and I'll be your host for the proceedings today. I serve as the managing partner of Foley's Dallas office, and it is such an honor to be back here once again. We've now been at Adamson for, I'd say, the last 5 years, and we are just so thrilled to look out, and after 2 years of online finals, to see an auditorium filled with so many DISD students, friends, family members, some of my Foley colleagues, members of the DISD community, and members of the press. We're also streaming the competition again this year so that our friends watching from home can continue to enjoy the event from the comfort of their living rooms. 31 years ago, our law firm established this competition as a way to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. It started small with just a few DISD schools and a handful of students in an employee lunchroom. 31 years later, our competition has grown to include 20 DISD schools with hundreds of students competing nationwide. In fact, at this very moment, we have simultaneous competitions taking place in Houston and in Chicago. As you'll see in just a few minutes, Dr. King's legacy and his dream lives within these children. It is very much, his dream is very much alive in 2023. Dr. King taught us to embrace our differences and to come together as a community. He told us, we may have all arrived on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. This sentiment rings especially true today as we strive to create a more inclusive and equitable society. At its heart, our competition gives our DISD students with a very powerful platform on which to share their own vision for the future. In the next hour, these 4th and 5th graders will shine a bright light on Dr. King's enduring message and will remind us all about the importance of his extraordinary legacy. But before we can do that, I need to express some gratitude. So I'd like to first start by thanking the DISD Board of Trustees, the DISD teachers, many of you are here today, so thank you, counselors, principals, campus administrators, staff members, all of whom have supported this competition this year and every year. A special thanks to Tanya Mayberry Davis for her enduring efforts on behalf of this program. We could not do this without Tanya. So thank you, Tanya. There she is. Hi, Tanya. Also to Candace Sledge and the whole partnership and volunteer services team. Thank you to our host today, Stephanie Amaya, the principal here at W.H. Adamson, and Melissa Mora, the school's office manager. We appreciate your hospitality year after year. In addition, we could not have pulled this off without support from DISD's communication services team, the DSTV team, Phil Villar, Eric Nickerson, the maintenance and facility services team, and everyone behind the scenes back there assisting with video and technology support, especially Richard McClure and his team from AVSD Productions. Thank you, few more, bear with me. Thank you to the marketing team and all the volunteers from my firm Foley who've come out to help today, and a special thanks to Danielle Romero, our event manager, who has worked tirelessly to bring this competition to fruition. So that's a lot of people, and it reflects the teamwork that's required to pull off an event like this. We could not be more grateful for the support that so many have provided to making today a reality. And finally, let me thank the parents, the family members, the friends for encouraging all of our participants to be part of this competition. We know you've heard these speeches 1,000 times already. You could probably come up here and give them just as well as your kids, but you will see in a moment that it was well worth all of the effort. Before we meet our judges, I'm going to invite Tiffany Hewitt up on the stage to say a few words on behalf of the Dallas Independent School District. Ms. Hewitt serves as the Chief of School Leadership at DISD. She has previously served as Deputy Chief of Academics in Teaching and Learning and as the Executive Director of Magnet Schools after having spent 5 years as the principal of the School of Science and Engineering at Townview Magnet Center, one of the top high schools in the nation. Please welcome to the stage, Tiffany Hewitt.
Thank you. It is my distinct pleasure to give remarks on behalf of our superintendent. I will keep my remarks brief because I do not possess the talent that I have on the stage behind me. First, I'd like to say hello to all of our elected officials and give you an opportunity to be recognized. Please stand. I definitely see Trustee MLK back there. So if you'd stand and just wave, and I'd like to recognize you all. Oh, thank you. Yes. Hello. Okay. As stated earlier, today's event marks the 31st anniversary of our annual MLK Oratory competition, and it's really a highlight of the Dallas ISD school year. I just had an opportunity to meet some individuals that I'd like to recognize in just one moment. But first, I'd like to thank our partnering sponsor, the law firm of Foley and Laubner, for providing the platform that students have today to pay tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I know you do not want this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Cynthia Hollingsworth, would you please stand? She said, oh gosh, I'm so embarrassed that you're going to call me out, but I'm doing it. And Betty Glover, would you please stand? Betty Glover and Claire Oliver, would you please stand as well? And she is embarrassed as well, but I'm going to tell you why I'm going to call these individuals out. These individuals have been with this program for 31 years. They are a part of a living legacy, and they're part of the reason we're here today. And I think it's really important to recognize the work and the contributions that they've made to make today possible and this platform possible for all of our students for over 31 years. Thank you. This is both a celebration of Dr. King's legacy and an opportunity to spotlight our young talent here in Dallas ISD and, of course, all over the nation now. For over 3 decades, this competition has motivated Dallas ISD students to learn about Dr. King and apply the lessons that he has provided in today's context. It is always great to hear young students interpret his teachings. I'd like to congratulate each student who participated at every level of the competition. And again, I'd like to thank our teachers and sponsors and principals and family members, parents, guardians, community members, for the time and energy you've poured into these young orators. We know that every student on the stage is already a winner, and I'd like to wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hewitt. We appreciate those amazing words. So here we go. Today we are honored to have a distinguished group of community leaders serving as our judges. They have all received numerous accolades for their achievements, but today's assignment promises to be their hardest one yet. I'm going to bring out each judge one at a time, so please hold your applause until the moment they arrive from behind the curtain. We're going to start with, Deputy Bonner. I'm sorry. We had a judge leave who couldn't make it. Marion Brown, our sheriff, had to miss, but we have She had an urgent matter. So joining us in her place is first-time Executive Chief Deputy of the Dallas County Sheriff's Office, Patrick Bonner. Please welcome Patrick Bonner. So Chief Bonner began his law enforcement career 29 years ago with the Dallas County Sheriff's Office. His law enforcement career spans many bureaus within the Sheriff's Department, including detentions, warrant execution, freeway management, patrol, and internal affairs division. He is a lifelong Dallas resident and a graduate of DISD Skyline High School. Thank you for stepping in at the last minute to fill this important role.
Thank you.
Deputy Bonner, do you have any words of advice for our kids as they sit up here today? Mic number 5, please.
Okay. So first of all, let me say thank you, and it's a privilege to be here this morning. So to the competition, you've prepared, you've practiced, and now it's time, it's showtime. Good luck to you. I'm going to say sit back and enjoy the moment. You're going to do well. Thank you.
All right. Next, we are grateful to have another returning judge, returning for his second year in a row. Please welcome to the stage, Dallas Chief of Police, Eddie Garcia. Chief Garcia was appointed as the police chief in 2021, becoming the first Latino to serve in the position in the department's 140-year history. Chief Garcia places a tremendous value on public safety and community engagement, and we are thrilled to have him engaging with our community here today. Welcome back, Chief. So, serving as the chief of police for one of the largest cities in the nation requires you to do a ton of public speaking under high pressure, stressful circumstances. Do you have any tips for our competitors as they're about to confront the same kind of situation?
I'll say this. First of all, it's an honor to be here. Knowledge is power. The best, just relax. Let it come natural. You've done this a million times. Let me just say, I'm proud of you all, as equally proud as your parents and friends are. I can guarantee you the city of Dallas is equally as proud. You are our future. We're nothing without you. So good luck today. Relax. You're all here for a reason. Maybe one of you will be sitting in this chair one day judging the same competition. So good luck to you all.
Thank you, Chief. Next up, and this one's very fun for me, please join me in welcoming back another returning judge, but it's actually been a decade since she last served as a judge for this competition. She is the Executive Vice President, General Counsel, and Chief Compliance Officer for Vistra Corporation, Stephanie Zapata Moore. Prior to her roles at Vistra, Stephanie was General Counsel of Luminant. These are all big energy companies. But most importantly, from our perspective, before that, Stephanie worked with me and many of my colleagues as a corporate lawyer at Gardier and Wynn, which is now Foley. And anyone who worked with Stephanie back in those early years, long before any of you guys were born, knew that Stephanie was destined for greatness, and she has not disappointed. In addition to her responsibilities at Vistra, Stephanie is the chair-elect of Girls, Inc. of Metropolitan Dallas. So let's welcome back Stephanie. So there's so much that I could ask you, Stephanie, but I was thrilled to learn that you are the chair-elect of Girls, Inc. So if you don't mind taking a moment and telling us a little bit about the organization and its mission.
Sure. So I'm so excited to be here. Thank you again for asking me fully to serve in this capacity. And I'm so proud of all of you all here. Really what Girls, Inc. is all about is having all of our girls in our community be strong, smart, and bold. And all of you all sitting here, that is exactly what I see. You are the epitome of confidence, of what we want our young people to be in our community. So congratulations. We congratulate you, and we're very excited to hear all that you have to share with us today.
All right, next, we are thrilled to welcome to the stage a first-time judge, and I believe our first Pro Football Hall of Famer. Let's give it up for the great Mike Singletary. Mr. Singletary was the heart of the defense for one of the greatest defenses of all time, the Super Bowl 20 champion Chicago Bears. He is perhaps most recognized as one of the Bears' all-time toughest middle linebackers. Yeah, with ferocious eyes peering across the line into the opposing quarterback. Oh, I'm feeling the stare from here. Get your heart going. Along with the famed 85 Super Bowl Shuffle team, Mr. Singletary made 10 trips to the Pro Bowl in his 12 years as a player. He has coached for several teams, including serving as the head coach for the San Francisco 49ers. Mr. Singletary was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1998. He is a proud Texan, played college ball at Baylor, and he resides here in the Metroplex. We are thrilled to welcome you to the competition, one of the all-time great competitors, Mike Singletary. So Mr. Singletary, in preparation for today, I watched your Hall of Fame induction speech, a couple other speeches you've given. There's a lot of stuff out there on YouTube if you want to watch Mr. Singletary speak. You're an extraordinary motivational speaker. Do you mind giving our kids some last-second motivational advice?
Sure. The first thing I would say is just realize that today what you're doing is one of the most difficult things in the world to do. That's to talk in front of a group of people. Next, just relax and know that the information that you're sharing today is going to help somebody in this audience. And when you speak today, the last thing, when you speak today, speak from your heart. Because when you speak from your heart, you don't have to think about anything else. You're giving information that's going to change somebody's life. That's what you're doing today. So good luck.
All right, last but not least, we have another returning judge who coincidentally is also returning to our competition after a 10-year hiatus. So he served with Stephanie on this panel 10 years ago. He also served in one of our original, first competitions. So please welcome back State Senator Royce West. Senator West represents the 23rd Senatorial District on behalf of the citizens of Dallas County. During his tenure, Senator West has been named by Texas Monthly as one of the 10 best legislators in the state of Texas, and he has received countless awards from community and business organizations for his leadership. He serves as the vice chair of the Senate Higher Education Committee. He's a member of the Senate Committee on Education, Finance, and Transportation. And outside of his community endeavors and his legislative work, Senator West is the managing partner in a law firm, West & Associates. Welcome back, Senator West. So, Senator, the legislative session just got underway this week, so we really appreciate you coming back to Dallas and joining us today as the session ramps up. I also want to thank you for taking a leadership role on the issue of school safety. Obviously, an issue that is of critical importance to everyone in this room today, so thank you for your leadership on that.
Thank you very much. It's indeed a pleasure to be home for at least a couple of days and to be here, be a judge once again for this competition. What I say to you is this: you have practiced your speech over and over and over and over again. And I would be willing to bet you that as you were practicing your speech and perfecting your speech, you saw an image in your mind of Dr. Martin Luther King. And as you saw that image, I want you to realize what that was all about. He was communicating to you that you're the embodiment of his dream, that all the students here are an embodiment of his dream. And yes, as my colleagues on the panel have said, sitting here today, you have positioned yourself to do exactly what he would want you to do. That is to participate in the dream and to further the dream and realize that you are a part of the dream. And so as you go about your speech today, recognize that we're all proud of you and that there are no losers at all on this stage at all. Each and every one of you are winners. So God bless, relax, take it easy, and do your best.
Before we begin with the speeches, I want to take just a moment to acknowledge the significant void on our stage today as our MC for the last 30 years, Clarice Tinsley of Fox 4 News, could not be with us today. I spoke with Clarice yesterday, and she sends her best wishes to everyone and promises to showcase our orators on her newscast later today. So please watch Fox 4 this afternoon. And we thank Clarice for her dedicated service to this event over the past 30 years. We're sorry she couldn't be here today, and we look forward to welcoming her back next year. So how did our 8 courageous finalists end up on the stage today? Our competition started with 20 DISD participating schools. More than 60 students submitted videos for the in-school competitions, and 22 semifinalists were selected from those video submissions. My colleagues at Foley and Lardner judged the semifinal speeches, and after the kind of spirited debate that you would expect from a room filled with a bunch of lawyers, we ultimately selected these very well-dressed and fearless finalists. As you'll see in a moment, we have assembled some of the best speakers ever to grace this stage, and it is a tremendous accomplishment, as everyone has said, to have reached the finals today. So I'm going to ask you all to take a moment, stand, and allow us to recognize you for making it this far. Let's hear it for our finalists. All right. It's fun to have an audience back. This is great. All right. The question that our speakers were asked to address for this year's competition is the following. What would Dr. King say today about hope for tomorrow? We look forward to hearing the insights from our young speakers on this important question. I know that we will all walk away from today's event inspired and challenged by these amazing students. And one additional housekeeping note, the order of speeches was determined yesterday by drawing. So that's the order in which they will be speaking. And without further ado, let us begin the 31st annual MLK Oratory Competition. Our first orator today is Daniela Mitchell, a 5th grade student at Thomas Tolbert Elementary School. Please step up to the mic. Hi, Daniela.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
Good.
All right. I understand you just recently started cheerleading.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going so far?
It's going great.
All right. And you have a sister who's 1 year younger, and you have a baby brother in the house now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How's it having a baby at home?
It's kind of fun.
All right. And you want to grow up to be a fashion designer, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, you look amazing. You ready to do this?
Yes.
All right. The mic is yours.
Hello. My name is Daniela Mitchell, and I'm a 5th grader from Thomas Tolbert Elementary School. what would Dr. King say about our hope for tomorrow? Let me tell you something. He would look us in the eyes and tell us the fight is not over. Dr. King marched day in and day out for equality for all people. Yet, we haven't scratched the surface today. So what about tomorrow? We keep going. Why do you think we, as people, treat each other differently? Dr. King once said, people fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. To elaborate, I believe this means that we fear one another because we don't know what others are capable of. And that's what scares us the most. Dr. King's dream of hope for tomorrow was for us to make our nightmares into positive things. So, will he give his stamp of approval? No. He would say that we didn't understand the assignment. So perhaps we should go back to the drawing board because we're still fighting to protect women's rights, we're still fighting to protect children in schools, and we're still fighting to protect those who aren't even born yet. To break down that barrier, communication is key. If we could just learn to listen, America could give what it's supposed to give. Communication starts with listening. Once you actively listen, you can respond appropriately. That was Dr. King's dream of hope for tomorrow. I believe we don't have to agree to get along. We hope that justice and equality can be universal. Our progression still lacks full participation, so let me be the ripple that starts the wave. I vow to treat my fellow citizens with love and respect no matter who they are. America, do you think Dr. King's dream of hope for tomorrow is shining through? If not, stand up, start this fight, and don't give up. My name is Daniela Mitchell from Thomas Tolbert Elementary School, and I am delivering this message. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniela. And now we have Adrian Rojas, a fifth grader representing Arturo Salazar Elementary School. Please step up. All right, Adrian, I understand that you like to play esports.
Yes, it's very fun.
What is your favorite esport?
Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers. All right. And you also play chess?
Yes.
What's more fun, chess or Smash Brothers?
I'd have to say chess
And why is that?
because it uses a lot of strategy and I like it.
Okay, and what do you want to do when you grow up?
Be a comic maker.
Oh, very cool. All right. You ready?
Yes.
All right. The mic is yours.
But first, I would like to say thank you to my parents for believing me. My coach, Miss Clay, for coaching me. Miss Lozano for showing up, and my classmates for cheering me on, and Miss Mertuza for getting me back on this stage. Well, getting me on the stage. Hi, my name is Adrian Rojas. I'm a fifth grader at Arturo Salazar Elementary. Martin Luther King Jr. was a man of extraordinary things. He was a great son, leader, and dad. And if he saw how we are acting today, how we are treating people today, he'd be very, very disappointed. I mean, look at us. We judge people before we even see how they act. And we even made the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. And we are doing the exact opposite of that saying. And being treated equally isn't the only thing he wanted. He also wanted peace nationwide, no war. Because he also wanted love. And having war isn't showing that you care about every soul you take down and how you are affecting the others in his or her life. But in all that disappointment, there's 3 things that can save this world from falling. Hope. Let your hopes, not your hurts, shape your future. Without hope, we'd be lost. We'd might as well quit. Love. Love all, trust few. Do wrong to none. Without love in someone's heart, there is no life. Peace. Do everything quietly and in a calm spirit. Now, peace, it's probably the most important thing. Because right now, peace is a myth. Because right now, because no doubt you've seen war. No matter how big or small, it's still war. And because of that, peace is a myth. But we can change that myth and turn it into a reality. And that starts with me. That is my dream. What's yours? Thank you.
All right, I'm pleased to welcome to the mic our next finalist, Ella Atkins, 5th grader at Walnut Hill Leadership Academy. You can choose either one. If you want to pull it down a little bit. There you go. All right, so Ella and I, we visited a little bit beforehand. You mentioned that you play the harp, correct?
Correct.
How long did it take you to learn how to play that?
It took me about 3 months.
And what's hard about learning how to play the harp?
What's hard is that you need a lot of finger movement and to not be stiff and also to be delicate.
Amazing. And you have a younger brother?
Yes, his
What?
name is Miles.
Miles, and how old is he?
He is 7.
Is he cheering for you?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Well, we are also cheering for you. Good luck. The mic is yours.
My name is Ella Atkins, a 5th grade student at Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy. I am here to answer the question, what would Dr. King say to us today about hope for tomorrow? Desire accompanied by anticipation or expectation. That is how Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines hope. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. hoped for a better future than the one African American people faced at the time, one where all people would be treated equal. He said to carve a tunnel of hope through disappointments, such as segregation, discrimination, and violence. His hope was driven by action in order to lead towards his dream. He would remind us that hope is very powerful. In 1963, Dr. King showed us how important action is when he wrote his letter from a Birmingham jail. In his letter, Dr. King reminds us that we cannot just sit and wait for change to happen, but we must take action. He encouraged people to continue boycotting on the Montgomery buses. That's action. Sit-ins at segregated lunch counters. That's action. Marching across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. That's action. As a result, Dr. King was released from jail. The work of the civil rights movement continued, and many laws were eventually changed. Today, almost 60 years later, we continue to fight for civil rights for all people. We are fighting poverty, inequality, racism, and so much more. Many efforts and actions are being taken by voting, continuing to educate ourselves, and engaging in activism. But above all these actions, we cannot lose hope. That's where it all begins, just like Dr. King began with a dream. Today, he'll remind us that hope is very powerful during these times. Without it, we would lose our will to fight for justice, lose our will to fight for change, and lose our will to fight for each other. Hope. It is the cornerstone. It is what we all need if we are going to accomplish anything. I leave you with these words from Dr. King. If you lose hope, you also lose the vitality that keeps life moving. You lose the courage to be, that quality that helps you go on in spite of all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ella. Our fourth competitor is Mohammed Mohammed, a fifth grade student at Elisha M. Peace Elementary School. All right. So I understand you want to be a doctor when you grow up. Is that right? What kind of doctor do you want to be?
Neurologist.
Why don't you step over to the other mic so we can hear you a little better? Maybe pull it down a little bit. There you go. Perfect.
I want to be a neurologist.
Excellent. And you have how many brothers?
I have two brothers, including, yeah.
Yeah. 2 plus you.
Yeah.
And how old are they?
One of them is 17 and the other one is 19.
And have they supported you in this process?
Yes.
Excellent. Have they heard the speech a few times?
Yes.
All right. Well, we would love to hear your speech, so floor is yours.
Hello, my name is Mohammed. I'm from Elijah M. Peace Elementary School. Today, Dr. King would say, if you learn from the past, your future will be bright. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, if you lose hope, somehow you lose the vitality that keeps you moving. You lose that courage to be, that quality that helps you go on in spite of it all. I believe without hope, dreams are deferred, visions are lost. Without hope, we become stagnant in our own being. Without hope, there's no change, no growth, and our confidence is lost. Without hope, there is sorrow. But we do have hope. If you learn from the past, your future will be bright. Once there was a law in some places that said black children and white children couldn't go to school together. Dr. King hoped that children of all races will be able to go to school together. Because of that hope, inequality has diminished and equity is on the rise in our government, education, media, and all aspects of our everyday life. We see hope in our first black president, Barack Obama. The prominence of historically black colleges and universities across our nation. and Oprah Winfrey, the first black woman to own her own TV channel. If you learn from the past, your future will be bright. Hope is my bright light that guides me through the darkest of time. Today we're faced with many challenges, but hope is what keeps me steadfast and moving forward. I have hope. Do you have hope? I see myself avoiding the negativity that comes from making bad choices. I see myself achieving my goals of becoming a brain surgeon. I see myself making my family proud. I am inspired by Dr. King and his vision for humanity. Even when the days are difficult, the polarization and division that threaten to keep us separate must be overcome. Our loyalties must transcend our race, our tribe, our class, and our nation, so that we all can walk with faith and hope for our future. When we see negativity on our screens, mass shooting, turmoil, or political chaos, according to Dr. King, we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. This infinite hope arises within each of us every day with new opportunities to make a difference in our world. Hope is that driving force that propels us all to great things. You see, hope really does matter. I have hope. Do you have hope? Let this message go beyond the walls of this room. Let it touch, inspire, and challenge you. Let it be the reason that you are optimistic and inspired today. I still have hope. Do you have hope? Thank you.
Our next finalist is Bria Hyder, fifth grader from J.P. Stark's Math, Science, and Technology Vanguard. Hi, Bria.
Hello.
So you go to a school that has math, science, and technology in its name. What is your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is math because I like problem solving.
Okay. And you also want to be a doctor?
Yes, to find cures for children with rare diseases.
Excellent. Thank you. And you have a younger sister?
Yes.
And do you like being the oldest sister?
Yes and no.
All right, well, we'll leave it at that, and we give you the mic. It is all yours.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Bria Hyder, and I am a 5th grade student at J.P. Stark's Math, Science, and Technology Vanguard. I am here to answer the question, what would Dr. King say to us today about hope for tomorrow? If Dr. King was here today, I believe he would say, why? Why are you still hurting each other? That is what is happening. People are hurting people for no reason. We are not behaving like a country where everyone is free and justice is for all. We are behaving just the opposite. There is no unity. In school, we are taught about having good character and displaying good citizenship. But the adults are not paying attention. All around me, I see random acts of violence, racial tension, and hateful messages on display. Dr. King had a dream for people of all colors, nationalities, and backgrounds to come together for the good of humanity. He even died for this dream. He said, you can kill the dreamer, but you can't kill the dream. Dr. King would be the first one to tell us that the dream is not dead, but it has been deferred. There are people in this world that work against equality. They do not want to share the freedom they enjoy. These people are greedy and destructive, and they weigh on our consciousness. Dr. King said, the time is always right to do what is right. Don't just stand by when you see an injustice and do or say nothing. All of America is responsible for the disparities we allow to take place on our soil. Start with self. Examine your beliefs. Educate yourself on the issues. Volunteer your time and share with those less fortunate. I read that the common cause for injustice is human selfishness. Dr. King would say, the fight is not about you, it's about everyone. He wrote, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Helping others is a great way to get to know them. It is not just an act of kindness. Helping has benefits that are good for our health, great for our self-esteem, and inspiring for our neighbors. These actions bring peace and harmony to the table. In the words of Dr. King, the beauty of genuine brotherhood and peace is more precious than diamonds or silver or gold. I hear him saying, you can live together as brothers, but it will take courage to show kindness in a world where hate is expectation. I don't think it's hard. We just need practice. We must change our stinking thinking, listen with empathy, and be open-minded to avoid being judgmental. Maybe then we can restore hope and achieve the dream Dr. King envisioned for America. Thank you.
I'm getting a little concerned that the deliberations are going to take about 3 hours, so we may have some time to fill. Next up, we have Kennedy Smith, a fourth grader. Step on up, Kennedy. Fourth grader at Charles Rice Learning Center. Kennedy, you're our only fourth grader in the competition this year. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Have you always enjoyed public speaking?
Yes, I have.
And would you like to be a performer when you grow up?
Yes,
What kind of performer?
an actress.
Oh, excellent. And you're the middle child. You have a 15-year-old brother and a 2-year-old sister?
Yes,
Excellent. And what do you want to be, a performer or maybe a dentist?
a performer.
Okay. I think that's better. The mic is yours. Good luck.
Hope is defined as a feeling of expectation and a desire for something to happen. Hope, something you can envision happening even when you can't see how it will happen. Hope, you can feel the difference it will make even when you don't know where your next step will be. Have you ever hoped for something and it never happened? Good morning. I am Kennedy Smith, and I am in the 4th grade at Charles Rice Learning Center. What would Dr. King say to us today about hope for tomorrow? I have pondered over this question for a while. And as a student, I've asked myself these questions. Did Dr. King march and protest for equality for nothing? Have any of these changes he fought so hard for become a reality? My research provided an answer. I can just imagine Dr. King saying now, "It's a time to make real promises of democracy." A lot has happened in the last 5 decades, and we are steadily moving forward because hope is leading the way. That's all the world has right now. Hope. Today, I think Dr. King will tell us about hope for tomorrow is this. Do not give in to prejudice, haters, and hatred, ignorance, violence, or fear. He will tell us to continue to cash the check that gives us the riches of freedom and the security of justice. That's hope. We must continue to protect our voters' rights. That's hope. We will not be pulled out of the arms of aspiration and slung over the shoulders of discouragement. That's hope. We must remember those who struggled, suffered, resisted, and died for the rights that we have today. That's hope. Also, I think Dr. King will tell us about hope for tomorrow is to continue to pursue success, demanding to be judged totally by our abilities and qualifications, and not by the hue of our skin. We must continue to protect our voters' rights. That's hope. We must continue to drink from the fountain of hope. We will be able to hew out the mountain of despair a stone of hope, always seeking to satisfy our thirst for knowledge, freedom, and peace by refusing to even sip from symbolic cup of bitterness and hatred. That's achievable hope. Dr. King understood the assignment. Do I understand the assignment? Do you understand the assignment? Do we understand the assignment? Hope tells us to encourage each other, and we must work diligently to complete the assignment that Dr. King gave his life working to fulfill. Dr. King made it clear that it had to be completed to have justice for all. Hope is a beautiful gift. Again, we can't see it because if we could, it would not be hope. Hope tells us to encourage each other, build connections, and listen to understand with our hearts while building better communities near and far. We must accept infinite hope, but never lose infinite hope. Thank you.
All right. Next up, from Thomas L. Marsalis STEAM Academy, Zahair Douglas. So, Zahair, you also like to play esports, and you're on an esports team.
Yes, sir.
So I didn't even know esports had teams. They do?
Yes, sir.
That's very fun. And what's your favorite esport?
Smash Bros.
Everybody loves Smash Brothers. Okay, and what do you want to be when you grow up?
An architect.
Excellent. All right, well, Zahair, we're excited to see the buildings that you are to build, and we're very excited to hear what you have to say this year.
As I take this journey through life, I ask that you open your hearts and minds while we walk a mile in my shoes. I am Zahair Douglas, a 5th grade student at the T.L. Marsalis STEAM Academy. For our time together today, I was charged with a leading discussion on what would Dr. King say to us today about hope for tomorrow. I believe he would say that he is disappointed at what has happened since his time as a leader of our society. We talk about Dr. King, but instead let's do Dr. King. In my household, faith without actions is dead. To me, that means do not talk about something, but as Nike reminds us, to just do it. When I watch TV, my favorite shows are often interrupted because of horrible things like kids bringing weapons to school, misbehaving in class, or losing their lives to senseless violence. To me, the disappointing part is it mainly being African Americans on the news more than any other culture. These behaviors frame a narrative that we want to have a back of the bus mentality. For what? We are not second-class citizens. We are no longer enslaved, and we have earned the right to be treated with respect in our country. Prior to the Civil Rights Movement, we were required to go to the back of the bus. But Dr. King's dream and life's work was to end segregation and to ensure our rights as citizens of the United States of America. Therefore, everything we do as individuals makes a difference. We should be the first people to do right in our classrooms, schools, and communities to create the change we want to see in the world. Another problem that Dr. King would have an issue with is how our country is reversing the policies and Supreme Court decisions which take away the rights and choices of individuals within our country. The reversal of these laws has created an environment where our political leaders are misusing their platforms to bully and discriminate against members of our country. When considering the recent changes to voting access, acceptance of immigrants, abortion rights, and the removal of books from our schools, some of our elected officials are using their power to injure, deprive, and demean the very persons and communities they were elected to serve and support. While we lost Dr. King due to the hatred of the color of his skin and nonviolent leadership during the Civil Rights Movement, he reminded us that you can kill the dreamer, but not the dream. Although Dr. King would be very disappointed if he saw the problems in our world today, I am in the mindset and belief of one band, one sound. I believe in order for us to improve our nation, we need to make intelligent decisions and moves that will positively improve the lives of people from all cultures and backgrounds. I know that Dr. King would be proud of how we stand up, advocate, and support for what we think is right and fair, considering the social justice, educational, political, and entrepreneurial leaders that have risen during these challenging times. Dr. King's words, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. This represents the new generation of leaders that seek to transform our communities, cities, nation, and world. While I stand before you this day, I charge each of you and myself to fulfill Dr. King's legacy and create a better world for ourselves and our future generations. As we all have the power to just do it and make a difference in our own spheres of influence to fulfill the hopes, prayers, and dreams of Dr. King and all our ancestors. Thank you for your time.
And we are down to our final speaker. Fifth grader from Clara Oliver Elementary School, Zalia Brown. So, Zalia, bless you. I remember you want to be a doctor as well. What kind of doctor do you want to be?
I would like to be an endocrinologist when I grow up.
And so tell me why you want to be an endocrinologist.
I want to be an endocrinologist because my mother and tons of people I know suffer from diabetes every day.
All right, and you're going to cure the world of diabetes. Excellent. Well, you're going to be an amazing doctor, and we are ready to listen to your amazing speech. Good luck.
Thank you. Good morning. I am Zalia Brown, a 5th grade student from Clara Oliver Elementary. What would Dr. King say to us today about hope for tomorrow? What a great question to think about currently in history. A time when students are readjusting from a worldwide pandemic, homeschooling, and wondering if we will be able to make our dreams come true. Everyone knows that Dr. King was a very persistent man and that he never stopped dreaming. He stood for what he believed. He would speak to us today about hope for tomorrow by telling us to use our resources, plan now for what we want to do, and work our plan. Dr. King knew that poverty is a problem in America, but he let it be known that education was one of the resources that could give one the first step up to a better life. Dr. King quoted in a speech known as "Where Do We Go From Here" in 1967. There is nothing new about poverty. What is new, however, is that we now have the resources to get rid of it. Why should there be hunger and privation in any land, in any city, at any table, when men have the resources and the scientific know-how to provide all mankind with the basic necessities of life? There is no deficit in human resources. The deficit is in human will. The time has come for an all-out world war against poverty. He wants us to use that resource of education. A student today that is willing to study long and work hard can participate in the collegiate program in high school, a program where one can get an associate degree while getting a high school diploma. This is one way to complete the next years of college with less owed on a loan. Working a plan can be challenging sometimes, especially in a low-income family. Work hard and keep the grades high. It may lead to a scholarship. Dr. King stated that life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Caring for the well-being of others can be just a small scholarship to help the dream of others to keep their hope alive. The question, what would Dr. King say to us today about hope for tomorrow, is very personal to me. When I read Dr. King's quote, "Of all the forms of inequality, injustice in healthcare is the most shocking and inhumane," I took the quote personal because my hope for tomorrow is to become an endocrinologist. I have seen the need to help people suffering from diabetes, hormone, and gland disorder. Looking at the needs in one's community and try to solve the problem is one of Dr. King's most persistent hopes for us tomorrow. We all should use all the resources that are available to keep hope for tomorrow. Dr. King would tell us to have hope for your future by using resources, plan now for what we want to do, and work that plan. Yes, work that plan. Facing challenges? Yes, one may face challenges. Work that plan. Keeping your hope for tomorrow? Yes, work that plan. Keeping your hope for your future? Yes, work that plan. And remember, hope without a plan is just daydreaming. Work that plan. Work that plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Zalia. And thank you to all of our finalists for what I believe are the best speeches we've ever heard. At this point, I'm going to ask our judges to file out, and you will be directed back to your deliberation chamber where you will decide the winners of today's competition. Judges, you have an extraordinarily difficult job ahead of you, and we will see you in a few minutes. Let's hear it for our judges. All right, let's welcome back our judges. Also joining me on stage is Cynthia. Why don't you come stand over here so you can hand out the gifts? And Danielle Romero, our event marketing chair. This was Danielle's first year managing this event, and she's done an extraordinary job. So let's hear it for Danielle for all of her hard work. All right. So in addition to our gratitude and admiration, each finalist will receive the following: a personalized plaque to commemorate your participation in the finals, an Apple iPad. We like the iPads, okay. And a gift bag with some special gifts. In addition, you will receive the top 5 finalists, those placing outside of the top 3, will receive $100. Third place will receive $200. Second place will receive $500. And the winner will receive $1,000. But wait for it. As we were awaiting those results, a very generous Foley client who wants to remain anonymous and who is watching online reached out and texted us and said that she was so moved by this year's speeches that she's going to match our prize money. So in the spirit of good things coming to those who wait, the prize amounts that I just mentioned have now doubled. And with that very exciting twist, I will be announcing the results. So I'm going to start with the 5 finalists who placed outside of the top 3. I will be announcing these in alphabetical order. The first finalist to be recognized is Ella Atkins from Walnut Hill Elementary Leadership Academy. As I call your name, please step up. Why don't you come over there and get a picture with the kids? Yeah. We are missing a student. We are awaiting the return of one of our orators, but I'm going to keep going because I think I just saw her walk in the room. Our second finalist to be recognized, Zalia Brown from Clara Oliver Elementary School. Our third finalist to be recognized is Daniela Mitchell from Thomas Tolbert Elementary School. Our fourth finalist to be recognized, Adrian Rojas, Arturo Salazar Elementary School. Our fifth finalist to be recognized, Kennedy Smith from Charles Rice Learning Center. All right, and now we are at the top three. Our third place winner is Bria Hyder from JP Starks. And now we are down to two. So I'm going to announce second place, which will obviously then let us all know who the winner is. Second place in this year's MLK Oratory competition goes to Muhammad Muhammad. Which means that our winner of the 31st MLK Oratory competition is Zahair Douglas, T.L. Marsalis Elementary Academy. Congratulations, Zahair, and all of our competitors. And I'm just going to wrap it up. I want to thank our judges once again, and thank you all for joining Foley and Lardner and the Dallas Independent School District for this 31st edition of our competition. We invite you all back to help us celebrate the 32nd anniversary of this competition next January. And with that, I wish everyone a meaningful MLK holiday. And thanks to everyone who's been a part of this one. Thank you all.